was a great man in his master's sight, and highly regarded because through him the Lord had given victory to Aaron. The man was a brave warrior, but he had a skin disease. Aaron had gone on raids and brought back from the land of Israel a young girl who served Naaman's wife. She said, "Mistress, if only my master would go to the prophet who is in Samaria, he would cure him of his skin disease." So Naaman went and told his master what the girl from the land of Israel had said. Therefore the king of Aram said, "Go, and I will send a letter with you to the king of Israel." So he went and took with him 750 pounds of silver, 150 pounds of gold, and 10 changes of clothes. He brought the letter to the king of Israel, and it read, "When this letter comes to you, note that I have sent you my servant Naaman for you to cure him of his skin disease." When the king of Israel read the letter, he tore his clothes and asked, "Am I God, killing and giving life, that this man expects me to cure a man of his skin disease? Think it over, and you will see he is only picking a fight with me." When Elisha, the man of God, heard that the king of Israel tore his clothes, he sent a message to the king. "Why have you torn your clothes? Have him come to me, and he will know there is a prophet in Israel." So Naaman came with his horses and chariots and stood at the door of Elisha's house. Then Elisha sent him a messenger who said, "Go wash 7 times in the Jordan, and your flesh will be restored, and you will be clean." But Naaman got angry and left, saying, "I was telling myself he'd surely come out, stand and call on the name of Yahweh his God, and will wave his hand over the spot and cure the skin disease. Aren't Abana and Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Could I not wash in them and be clean?" So he turned and left in a rage. But his servants approached him and said to him, "My father, if the prophet had told you to do some great thing, would you not have done it? How much more should you do it when he tells you, 'Wash and be clean'?" So Naaman went down and dipped himself in the Jordan 7 times, according to the command of the man of God. Then his skin was restored and became like the skin of a small boy, and he was clean.
So, if you've been here all 3 weeks, you've heard that scripture 3 times now. If you paid attention, it's from 3 different versions of scripture. That was the third version of scripture that you heard it from. And so far, we have learned from the story of Naaman that we need to come clean, admit what we've done, admit the hurts that have been done to us, own them. And we've learned that we need to learn to be humble. But tonight, we're going to learn a lesson from the king of Israel. Now, you need to know that I have a superpower. I can, within minutes, dream up at least 100 scenarios for every situation that possibly could arise, and I have a perfect solution for every single one of them in a matter of minutes. And then, in addition to that, I can give advice from one of those scenarios just as fast. And then, the result looks something like a train wreck. Anybody else have that? Yeah, that is my superpower. Will Rogers said, and this is on the screen, Will Rogers said, "I know that worrying works because none of the stuff I worried about ever happened." Have you heard that one before? Will Rogers knew what it took me years to understand. Why in the world do I spend so much time worrying about things that I don't need to worry about? Useless time. Why do I turn so often to fixing instead of praying? That's what King Joram was like. And I find too often I am like King Joram. It's sort of astounding when you think about it that little girl that I call Nara, her first thought when she heard her master had leprosy was to send him to Elisha. "Hey, I hear you have leprosy. I think you should go see this man of God." But the king's first thought was, "He's out to get me." I think that's sort of astounding. The king had to know that Elisha was powerful. Elisha had not done all the miracles he did in secret. And just a short time earlier, he and the king of Judah had gone to Elisha and asked him for advice on a war. So it's not like he didn't know about Elisha. It's not like he Naaman came, oh, let me send him to Elisha. No, his first thought is, this guy is out to get me. Now, in his defense, that letter that the king of Aram sent was really written very poorly. I'm sending my servant to you so that you can fix him. That does sound, a little. And if I was as paranoid as the king of Israel was, that might have been my first thought too. He's out to get me. But the problem is, we are too often like King Joram. We try to figure out a way to fix it instead of trying to see what God can do, or just standing back and watching what God can do. Because responsible, independent adults in our century, we like to fix things. Women are the queens of fixing things, and Christians tend to be right up there on the scale too. We like things to be perfect, things to be smooth. We like everything to run the perfect way. We like to fix things. And you know what? It gets us into trouble way too often. Almost every time I get this anxious feeling, it's because I'm trying to fix something that I was never ever created to fix. There's only one person that can fix this stuff. But what do? I worry, I plan, I stress, I imagine every single scenario. I've never ripped up my clothes like King Joram, never done that. But I have lost sleep. And I know people who've lost hair, gotten sick, all kinds of things because they worry. The problem is, we have a really difficult time telling the difference between a God-sized problem and a human-sized problem. And we were not created to fix God-sized problems. Now, through the years, I've been handed several God-sized problems, and some of you know about my God-sized problems. When Steve's sister had cancer for the third time, that was a God-sized problem, and I so bad wanted to fix it, and I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, and kept thinking, every time those Cancer Center of America commercials came on, I wanted to call Rosie and say, go, 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 because I wanted to fix it. When Elizabeth was born, we have trach and we have feeding tube, and I never in a million years thought I would learn how to change a trach, let alone a baby trach. That was not on my list of things to do ever. And I wanted it to get fixed quickly. That was a God-sized problem. When I had my TIA when I was 47, mini stroke, for you guys who don't know what that was, Steve had a horrible time with that God-sized problem. He'll tell you. He wanted to fix it right then, right there, and he was mad at God because he couldn't fix it. But that was a God-sized problem. And that little servant girl, just imagine the God-sized problem she had in her life. This raiding party comes to her village and probably burnt down the village. Takes her away. She may have seen people murdered. And then she's like maybe 12, 13, 14 at the oldest, and now she's a slave. She has no idea whether this mistress is going to be kind or mean. She doesn't know. But again, those are God-sized problems. And somehow, this young girl knew that it was a God-sized problem. Somehow, she understood the difference between a battle that belongs to a human and a battle that belongs to God. She only gets that little line in Scripture. One little tiny line, but you know what? I admire her because she was brave and she knew the difference. So one of the things we have to ask ourselves is, where are we in this story? Are we more like King Joram, or are we more like Nara, the little girl? And I have a list of things that we can compare. King Joram, he held the highest position in the land. He had tremendous power. Nara, on the other hand, belonged to the lowest class of civilization. She was young, she was a female, and she was a slave. All three of those are things that people look down on. Now, King Joram someone was out to get him. On the other hand, Nara heard about Naaman's problem and immediately thought to send him to Elisha. King Joram answered to no one. He could have sent Naaman any place in the world and no one would have said a word to him. Nara, on the other hand, had every single reason to be afraid of punishment, because you were not allowed to speak to your mistress or master without being spoken to first. King Joram didn't even think about taking the problem to God. Nara trusted that God would heal even her enemy. And I think that's one of the most amazing things about Nara's faith. Not that she believed in God, but she believed that the God of Israel would heal his enemy. Because the country of Aram wasn't just Israel's enemy, it was God's enemy. They worshipped all these false gods. They had a whole list of them. So they weren't just the enemy of Israel, they were the enemy of God. Yet, God still healed his enemy. And this little girl had the faith to believe that he would. During King Joram's time, and even today, leprosy was a God-sized problem. You couldn't be healed from leprosy. There was no cure. I don't know if there's a cure for true leprosy today. We don't see it in the United States, but over in third world countries, they still have leprosy, and people's fingers and toes are eaten away by this disease. But the nature of God-sized problems and human-sized problems have not changed much over the years. For instance, cancer is a God-sized problem. Getting a job is a God-sized problem. Finding a spouse, providing for your family, protecting your family, dealing with heartbreak, depression, anxiety, mental illness, birth defects. Anything that doesn't come from love of Christ and any causes worry or stress, that's a God-sized problem. And when we try to fix them, when we try to take this God-sized problem and put it in a human-sized mold, we'll get in trouble every time. We find ourselves in the middle of these God-sized problems more often than we'd like. And we get helpless and we get frustrated. But I wonder sometimes if one of the reasons that Jesus said what he said in what we read in Matthew 25 is partly so that we would understand the difference between God-sized problems and human problems. Listen to this. It's from Matthew 25. Then the righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go visit you? The king will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of these, the least of my brothers and sisters, you did for me. Did you see that list? That's a list of human-sized problems. Feeding the hungry, visiting the sick, human-sized problems. But we need to pay attention to what God didn't say. He didn't tell me, go fix the mentally ill so that they can get clothed, so they can clothe and house themselves. He didn't say that. He didn't say, go heal the sick. What did he say? He said, go visit the sick. He didn't say, go break the prisoners out of prison. No, he said, go visit the prisoners. Have you ever given a child ribbon or yarn and tried to watch them untangle it?
I watched her tangle it, and then I threw it away.
Yeah, because they can't make it into a pretty knot. They can't do that. Well, and they'll just make it more and more a mess. That's because untangling ribbon and yarn is a grown-up sized problem. It's not a child-sized problem. And you know what? We don't have any problem at all understanding that. None of us would get mad at Peyton because she couldn't untangle a ball of yarn. We wouldn't, because we wouldn't expect her to do that. Why then do we expect ourselves to fix God-sized problems? years, I tried to heal my heart leprosy. The very first week, I likened Naaman's leprosy to our heart, because we have this disease that I call heart leprosy. And we try to fix it ourselves. We want to feel better. We want to get rid of the depression. We want to get rid of the anxiety. And some of that you need a doctor for. Don't be messing with that stuff. That's a doctor-sized problem and a God-sized problem. But there's some depression and anxiety that we bring on ourselves. And it causes this heart leprosy. It causes our heart to get scaly. And for years and years, I tried to fix my heart leprosy myself. Because you know what? I was raised in the best family in the whole world, and I was taught all the right things to do. I knew all of the good stuff. By the time I was 12, I could find a Bible verse faster than anybody else, even most adults. I never missed church. Never. Ever. I pretty much had my own righteousness under control. Until I didn't. Because what happens is the performance becomes so hard. The trying and working at being what I thought God wanted me to be becomes so hard. At one point, I finally told God, this is way too much work. I'll see you later. I'm not giving up on you completely, but I'll be back when heaven's closer, because this is just too much work. But it was because I was trying to do it on my own. I was trying to fix my own heart leprosy. I didn't understand 3 little words that Jesus said. 3 little words that's the reason that we are here for Lent. The reason that we're preparing to celebrate this month, or actually next month. There's 3 little words. Jesus said them on the cross. They were the last words that he said before he died. It is finished. He finished it. Jesus finished it. Now, if he finished it, why am I still working on it? Right? When Erin finishes a cake, she didn't want somebody messing with it. She'd be mad if one of her boys decided to finish it for her after she was already finished. Yes. When John finishes the roof, you don't want somebody to come refinish it for you, do you? Leave the thing alone. But that's what we do. We keep trying to finish what Jesus said was already finished. Jesus said, I did everything that's needed for you to have a relationship with God. I did everything that's necessary for you to go to heaven. I did it all. It's all done. Completely and totally finished. There's nothing you need to do. Your heart leprosy is all taken care of. All you have to do is accept it. Just accept it. But we want to finish it. How many of you, when you take an antibiotic to get rid of infection, do something to help the antibiotic? Nobody? No. We just take the pill. Doctor gives us a pill, says this will take care of the infection. We take the pill. We don't even ask the doctor any questions, do we? Nope. We just take it. Why can't we do that with Jesus? He has the perfect medicine for our illness. But we want to do something else. I want to be good enough. I want to get all my ducks in a row. We think there's more to be done. One of the things that I learned when we had CR was the prayer that CR prays, Celebrate Recovery, and Alcoholics Anonymous prays. And sometimes when I am confronted with a God-sized problem and I'm trying to fix it, I pray this prayer because it really does help me. And in case you've never heard it, it goes like this. And you probably have heard the first 3 lines, but you may not have heard all of it. It goes like this. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace, taking as it is this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it. Trust that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will, that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever in the next. Amen. Sometimes all I say is, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Because God-sized problems are things I cannot change. And sometimes I ask God to make sure that I can see what are the things that I cannot change. Because sometimes I think I can change things that I can't. Because I want to that bad. And when we try to do more than we were created for, it creates that heart leprosy. It creates discontentment. It steals our peace. We get tired in our spirits. We get tired in our body. And that heart leprosy weakens us more and more. But Jesus has more for us. He wants more for us than to live in that heart leprosy. And if we want more, we got to get rid of those God-sized problems and give them to God. These are your problems, God, because those are God-sized problems. These are my problems. Feeding the sick, we're feeding the hungry, that's my problem. I can feed the hungry. Clothing the needy, I can do that. I can clothe the needy. I can visit people who are sick. I can do that. I can even visit somebody in prison if God needs me to. I can do that. But I can't get my relatives saved. I can't do that. I can't take care of, I can't heal somebody's cancer. I can't do that. So we have to decide where we are in this story. Am I King Joram? Am I freaking out because there's a God-sized problem that I'm trying to fix? Or am I Nara? Hey, there's this guy I know. He can fix your problem. You should go see him. I want to be like Nara. That's who I want to be like. I want to be confident. I want to be innocent like she is. And I want to just start sending people. Hey, go visit God, because he's got this. Amen? Let's pray. Oh, Lord Jesus, forgive us. Because we try to be you way too many times. Lord Jesus, help us to see the God-sized problems. Help us, Father God, to just admit those are God-sized problems and we can't do anything with them. And then, Lord Jesus, pour your Spirit on us so that we can live in your love, and we can live in your grace, and we can live in your mercy, and we can live in the freedom and the healing that comes from not trying to be God. I just thank you and praise you. It's in your holy and your precious name.